cheaters of Reddit. Why did you do it? I was stuck on a boss and was very frustrated and just wanted to get past it so I can have fun again. The following is a result of not putting the serious tag in your question. I just couldn't fight the stress. That slice of pizza looked way too inviting. Didn't find what I was looking for, but I'm having fun. Gonna break the theme and give a real answer of the one time I did cheat on someone. Wasn't happy, was only in the relationship because of threats of self-harm and not having the understanding and maturity to deal with it. Cared enough to say okay, we'll work it out and go with whatever she wanted, but the relationship itself was hell. Was asked over by another girl, and thought to myself in that moment, fuck it, I don't care, I've already tried to break up like half a dozen times and I haven't, although she urges me to. We're older. She's menopausal and has lost desire, and I'm facing my end and want to enjoy life. So I have a green light from her, but she is my love, and casual sex is like an oxymoron to me. It's frustrating, I won't lie. Edit, thanks for advice, folks. Yes, that would be an open marriage, which is simply a huge change of gears if it isn't your inclination. We've been monogamous for over 30 years. Also, it's not a matter of her not being attractive. She chipped away at my self-esteem and confidence for over a year. We did the thing where we would be good for a few months and then she would break up with me for a week or two, presumably to get with some guy she liked. I knew it was the case at least one of the times. She would always make the comment, when we would be having make-up sex, I bet this is better than jacking off. So basically she was saying I wasn't attractive enough to have sex with anyone else. So I proved her wrong also. I'll try and give a serious answer. LOL was in a 7-month relationship that fizzled as quick as it started. We stopped having sex, or being intimate. We became roommates real fast. A friend of mine, who I knew long before I met my then GF, got closer and closer to me. To be fair, I never actually cheated, but I caught myself one day, texting the other girl nonstop, and realized what the end game was. Broke up with my GF a few nights later, ended up dating the other girl for a little under 3 No sex for a year. When we did have sex, she'd just lay there. She started going out all the time without telling me who, what, when, where. Always unhappy. Night of main event, other girl starts making major passes. I try to leave and call GF in my car. Rings and rings. More passes from other girl. Call GF again, she clearly hangs up, declines my call. Go back inside to other girl, eternal regret. Edit, a few people are getting caught up on that eternal regret ending. My only Reddit POS. But how can you live without this sense of pride and achievement? This is like the opposite of cheating though, like this is the other option, the good, honest, and correct option. Good on you, mate. Just a side note, wanting to cheat doesn't make you a terrible person, it means that you have a sex drive and most likely a lot of resentment towards your wife understandably. You're only an ass if you actually pursue the deed, or accomplish it. Jazz music stops. I know you probably feel guilt, but the reality was she was emotionally blackmailing you to stay. You could have stayed around for her sake, been miserable, and this might have been the same outcome. You can care for someone, but that doesn't make it your responsibility to get her through life. In your case, you didn't want the relationship, so why should you have to be miserable? I would have hoped that the end of the relationship would have been the catalyst for her to get help. I'm too lazy to take care of my Sims and get them proper jobs. Why get an actual job when you can just spam motherload? He was practically showing me his cards. It was impossible not to look. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I was young, horny, and stupid. So a typical high school senior. I didn't realize the emotional pain it would cause my then girlfriend, and looking back as an older, wiser, more mature person, it's something I deeply regret. I was in a relationship with a man who was 8 years older than me and who started grooming me when I was 13. The person I cheated with made me feel genuinely cared for and appreciated. It was something I'd never felt before. I felt safe. It was the first time I slept with someone because I actually wanted to, instead of doing it out of fear. I was stupid. Only time I did it I was on the way out with my current GF. Girl that I had mutual feelings for was on the outs with her BF. Too many drinks later, and we are going at it against a wall. Woke up the next day, broke up with my GF. Girl didn't leave her BF. Moved on. Have an amazing wife and life now, but this mistake will be with me forever. I was the guy who said I would never cheat, and now I am not that guy. TLDR, don't get drunk around people you have complex feelings about. I mean, none of that sounds like a healthy relationship. Cheating is an absolutely terrible thing to do, and you should have just left, but good for you, man. Next time make sure it's her sister. I didn't study enough for the final, and the cute girl next to me was willing to help me on a problem. Then we had dirty sex. That's not cheating, it's escaping. Very glad you got out of that horrible situation. I'm sorry that it's so frustrating and not sure if you're ill or just looking at the end in the larger sense, but want to say that it sounds like you two love each other very much. That's a beautiful thing, my friend. We have a pretty hardcore group of around 5 Monopoly deal addicts in my office, and give or take another 5 people who play casually. Initially, I'd occasionally cheat by holding more than the maximum 7 cards. I'd also sometimes slyly put money into the bank when it's not my turn. Why did I do it? The fraud triangle framework theorizes that people commit fraud due to the intersection of opportunity, pressure, and rationalization. I had the opportunity because my movements are deft and swift. And now I am not that guy. Nope, but you are the guy who made a mistake and learned from it. You don't have to keep beating yourself up about it. It's okay. The only reason you're feeling bad is because she manipulated you into feeling responsible for her death. If a stranger while you were shopping said, "If you leave right now, I'm killing myself," and you alerted the necessary authorities like you did with the nurse and left, would you feel terrible for years afterwards? I know I wouldn't. You're not responsible for the well-being of other people who are old enough to take care of themselves, especially after you've let the proper authority. My wife has had a couple of side partners who had the same issue as you have. Yes, my wife and I have been in an open relationship for as long as we've been together, 27 years, and she's into older men. These guys have suffered with the same conflicted feelings at first when their wives gave them the green light due to their lost desire for sex. But these guys eventually worked out their internal conflicts about going to bed with other women while still deeply in love with their wives. Echo. You cheated not only the game, but yourself. You didn't grow. You didn't improve. You took a shortcut and gained nothing. You experienced a hollow victory. Nothing was risked and nothing was gained. It's sad that you don't know the difference. My wife cheated on me. I left her. Came home with divorce papers a week after I found out. There is no rebuilding that level of trust, ever. Best of luck to you. Please PM me if you need someone to talk to. Back in my day it was Rosebud. Old man grumbles. Because she cheated first, and lied to me about it. I then met a willing and sexually adventurous woman, and things happened. I do have to thank my ex-girlfriend, because I would never have gone through it if she had not motivated me to do so. The real answer: I was too much of a pussy to admit that the relationship had failed. I was determined to make it work, and I thought if I cheated we would be equal, then I could move past her infidelity. I was wrong. She broke up with me not long. I think very few people can accept that their partner cheated on them and stay with them and be happy. It probably depends a lot on the situation, what happened exactly, and the cheater's actions after. Regardless, it doesn't seem like you're one of those people. Seems like you've already checked out of the relationship mentally if you're daydreaming about other women like this. You did more than many people would, which is try to make it work afterwards. But it isn't working. You only really. I know it's been years, but as woman who has been cheated on herself and have grown from the experience, maybe reach out to the girl and apologize sincerely. Like tell her something like, I know it's been years, but I wanted to say sorry for what I did, etc., and I was stupid, etc. I would appreciate if my ex would actually apologize, even though I'm over the whole situation and have become a much better version of myself since then. His actions actually were a blessing in disguise. But it would. Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. My first relationship lasted 3 years. This was all in high school. It should have lasted 2. He was very mean to me, and every time I tried to break it off, things only got worse. So I lied to him, said I was staying home, and then hung out with this guy who wasn't really my type, but he was nice and followed me around like a puppy dog, obsessed with me. It made me feel special. I kissed him. He found out I lied about staying home. Next time we met up, I seriously feared for my life. He kept a CL. Took me way too long to realize that you didn't mean that you were infatuated with your boss. Split screen multiplayer in Halo. I'm not about losing to my younger cousin. Money in GTA 5 is hard to get, okay? Don't blame me. Ah. There it is. The comment we all came here to see where the so was awful, so it is semi-justified. My boss fired me, so I fucked his daughter. I was playing God of War on the second hardest difficulty, and I just couldn't beat the Valkyrie Queen. And I mean, I spent hours and hours on this boss, and on one occasion I was like 5 hits from killing the boss. My nerves got the better for me. I took 1 hit, 1 misstep, then another hit, and I was dead. My soul was crushed. I tried a few more times, didn't even come close. Said fuck it, this isn't fun anymore, and switched to easy mode, which I guess makes me a cheater. I beat the game at Le. The problem was in your pants. She solved that shit QED. Can't tell if ate an extra slice of pizza, or fucked it. Disgusting. I was incredibly immature, and essentially once I got a taste of blood cheating another woman, I was hooked. One in particular got me hooked. I fell in love with her, while trying to maintain a marriage, along with a pregnancy with my spouse. It was all bad. I got caught up. Given chances to change. Didn't spouse left with child. That love changed. Had separation time. Lots of time to sit and think and live alone. Moment of clarity came. Turned life shit around. Changed attitude. In my case, it was because I had 2 lovely girls of entirely different sorts coming at me at the same time, and just couldn't decide. Had 2 good things, and couldn't let either go. Plus, I have this crippling inability to say no to a girl that's crying, causing me to fail to dump one of them. Took months until things finally came to a head, at which time I fully expected to lose them both, but one held in there. Went on with her for a few years, until it fell apart due to various sob-st. I didn't feel loved and cared for by my boyfriend, had very little attention from him. We were together for 7 years, then broke up. Now couple of years later I wonder why did we stay the extra 2 years together even though either of us was happy. We entered into the relationship under the guise of cheating and lies. She left her fiancé of 5 years for me. I was in a rather odd place psychologically, and had just moved to a rural area and due to a car accident lost my job, source of transportation, and basically any access to the non-rural area that I was living in. Even though I was only an hour outside of a major metropolitan area, it felt like it was a continent away. She was my professor. We started gradually with her coming over too. I took a shortcut through the gas station instead of waiting at the light to make a right turn. Because I never got over my old flame. We found each other after many years and found it was mutual. This doesn't count as cheating, and don't let that asshole who groomed you tell you otherwise. He was committing a crime the whole time, and you had a moment of normalcy. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I'm glad you understand what healthy relationships feel like now. I was hungry and already met my macros for the day. I thought if I cheated we would be equal, then I could move past her infidelity. Never cheated, but man have I had this mindset.